sports listeners. I'm your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
This whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes. Woo! And we're talking all athletes. Welcome, everybody. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Good morning, good morning. Got about another week or two before all of our little kiddos go back to school. I think it's up in the air as far as mask, no mask. I can't even keep, to be quite honest with you, I do the Netflix and Prime. I took Dominique's challenge, and this might be something fun for everybody to participate in. I downloaded this app. Dominique, what's the name of it?
The app is called Duolingo. So right. Duolingo. I think there's a free version of it that you can use for a little while. But the cost of it is not that much for the entire year.
It's like $80.
And you get to learn a language, and you can pick. They have lots of languages. So, Erica, which language are you working on?
I'm doing German, and I started off in say 400 and something place. And then because it's a program that makes it gaming. It's like a game.
It's like playing a game.
It's like playing games. And so now, as of last night, because I jonesed on it, and it's kind of cool because you link your friends, and Richard always claps me, when I get extra 50 because they
Richard Ellsworth?
Richard Ellsworth. Because what they do is they'll say something, they'll go, okay, if you could finish this over the next 15 minutes, they'll triple the points. So anyway, I've gone from light years away, so I'm in the 11th spot right now. And the chick's name I'm trying to knock off, she's in first place. She's thousands ahead of me, but watch it because here I come. So, and it's really fun. And my mom's German. Okay, so I did the beginner German. I spoke German fluently till I was probably about 18, 19. I would say I was pretty good at it. And then, you don't do something for 40 years. So, you're going to lose it.
So it's fun. For all of our teens out there, you really need to have a foreign language under your belt to help with your college application. And so if you're studying Spanish or whatever language that you're studying, you can use this program, Duolingo, to help you master the language that you're learning. And thank you to Richard Ellsworth for setting me up. I'm working on Irish. Then I'm also working on Hebrew because I have a Braille student who's going to be doing her bar mitzvah. So I have to help learn Hebrew. And I'm also learning Latin because I've always wanted to learn Latin.
Hey, Dominique, that's enough.
And by the way, I need to correct you. You are not learning Irish. You are learning Gaelic.
Gaelic, thank you. Well, they have it listed as Irish.
I know.
Those
and by the way,
speak Irish know it's Gaelic.
And of course, that is the official language of Ireland, even though most everybody does speak English there as well. But, I took Irish or Gaelic as well. We did it from a course online, and I actually put it on cassette as well as CD. I downloaded the files. And we even took a course at the Irish Cultural Center in Phoenix. And we learned a few words here and there. And I have to tell you, it's a lot of fun to learn a new language. And it starts, the biggest thing about learning new languages, it starts new synapses working in your brain.
Well, we're gonna get all the whole MD medical part side of it, the brain, the mindfulness. We have Dr. Amy Salzman in the house.
Good morning, Teen Sports Radio.
Good morning.
All right, talk to us about learning a language. We got nothing else better to do right now when you're COVIDed.
Yeah, I've been learning Italian, and I do agree with Dr. D that it definitely works new nervous system connections and synapse connections and stretches our brains. So I'd agree with that.
It's fun. I mean, what's really good, it really connected to me because it's not boring. They constantly do challenges. The way they set it up, you're being challenged. I'm like, bring it on.
We're doing a shout out for a very well done app. And Richard Ellsworth, who speaks Irish fluently or speaks Gaelic fluently, he had used this app a number of years ago when he was studying in school, and he didn't think it would be around anymore. But actually, it's it's very much around, and it's being used by many people all over the world. So when you do hop in there, take a look and see if you can find your friends and hook up with your friends and have fun with it.
You saw a lot of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people using it. It's very, very fun.
I haven't talked to this person since high school.
So a shout out to all the teens who are working to learn their foreign languages. Yay!
Yeah, so that's going to be our that's our thankful thing of gratitude, because we've been smiling all week learning a language. So that's going to be that's for $80. Honestly, Duolingo is something you might want to check out. So let's go to Anthony Rodriguez is in the house. You don't have to thank me for babysitting.
Oh,
okay,
man, that's actually what I was going to go for. Come on now.
No.
You saved me on this one, you know? But for sure you got to thank Erica, because she just saved me, for taking care of my little baby, which is Osito, a four-legged family member. But I do actually really want to thank just my wife for being there for my family when we really need her the most. And, it's not very often that you see that, but I'm truly grateful for her stepping up and just helping me kind of just really focus on what needs to get done. And I can't say enough. She's my rock. So I really want to say thank you to her, and I appreciate you very much for everything that you've done. So.
Wow, I want to send her the link to this. Okay, boy, that's it. And some flowers and maybe some candy and some dinner. Maybe make me happy.
Foot massage. Foot
massage works with me, definitely. That's always a great game breaker right there. What do we got? Don Sanders, you got a lot to be thankful for.
Yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to Handlebar Coffee over by the Libero Theater there. My daughter is a barista there. And so while you're practicing on your app, go by and have a coffee, sit out on the patio, and, social distance, mask if you need to. And my daughter makes a particularly good breve, and I'm going to piggyback on what Anthony said.
She makes a particularly good breve.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to piggyback on what Anthony said and give a great show of gratitude to my wife, who, while I was just on a field trip to Colorado, she wrapped up a home refi and got things very, very much more secure on the home front here. So. A great, much gratitude and appreciation to my wife, Carrie.
Yay!
Way to be, Carrie! Love it. Ed Langlow is back, and he's going to have his segment today. Looking forward to it, because he gave us a little peek of it. We don't usually do that, but I'm very excited that you're back, Ed. I know you've been really busy with personal stuff, but who do you want to give some love to this week?
I've mentioned Joe Moreno before, but I found some very interesting information that I didn't expect to find in one of the yearbooks that he gave me. I had set these aside, and I looked through the 1952, 53. Really wasn't anything there to do a segment on. In 1954, I found some gold. So once again, I have to thank Joe Moreno for giving me 4 vintage Santa Barbara High School Olive and Gold books. Mm-hmm. So thank you, Joe.
Beautiful.
Nice. All right, Dr. Amy Saltzman.
Well, I want to give a shout out of gratitude to Dawn, who came by our house and did 3 massages on short notice when my son's hip was out. So that was particularly awesome. We did it in the backyard. It was super peaceful, and we all felt better.
Yay!
Yeah, well, I'm going to see him this Friday. I'm looking forward to seeing my Dawn. So if anybody wants it, you can piggyback after me. No, he's, Dawn, you truly, I always give you credit from me waking me up after 18 months of excruciating pain and one visit with you, having the double hip replacement. And I don't know what it was. I remember like it was yesterday. I wasn't dragging my leg after you. You you put me into some comfort, although it wasn't 100%. It was just always just to get me by, and made that phone call. And by the grace of God, I got an appointment in like 3 days, which is unheard of. So yeah, the path was laid just because of who you are. Really, you definitely shine a light, and kind of pig-headed in certain things. Not a word out of you. Not a word out of you.
No, not Erica.
I have to kind of like walk my way, right? Because everything is about your own personal journey, right? Learning, getting the information, getting in the information. So anyway, we love you. We want to thank you. You got to be coming up with something a little bit later in the show. So let's wrap it up with the intro. Right after these messages, we have Dominique Hackett. We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hello, this is Dominique Hackett. We are on Teen Sports Radio. Thank you for joining us. And this morning, I just had a list of some wonderful things that teens can do if you're bored between the time right now and when school starts up again. I wanted to give some suggestions. So if you haven't done this, first of all, teens, go down your list of the relatives that you normally interact with. And if there is a relative who you have not talked to recently, put that on your list today and give them a call or maybe Zoom with them. But now is a really good time before you get busy with the flurry of school to make sure that you are connected with all your family members. They may not have reached out to you because they may think that you're super busy. So if you've got a little bit of time before school starts, make that list of your favored family and friends, adopted family members, and reach out and contact them. The next thing, if you need something to do, consider interacting with our older population and learn an old hobby. So instead of a new hobby, learn an old hobby. For example, if you don't know how to knit, find someone in your community and learn how to knit or learn how to crochet, or maybe even take up needlepoint or maybe you have a friend who's Japanese or Chinese who can teach you calligraphy, how to do beautiful writing with ink and paper. So consider some of the old hobbies that people used to do in the old days before we had the computer and the internet. These hobbies are very satisfying. It gets you off of your computer and off of your technology and makes use of different parts of your brain and is very relaxing to the body. So consider approaching our elder community and learning an old hobby, which will be a new hobby for you.
I'd like to learn blacksmithing.
Blacksmithing. Do you know that the art of blacksmithing is incredibly important? And there are blacksmiths all around communities. They're in tiny little pockets, but blacksmithing, glass blowing.
There you go.
Being a carpenter and being able to craft things out of wood. All of these various crafts are very important to our community and are not replaced by the manufacturing industry. We need this artistry. So yes, yay for blacksmithing. So another thing, and obviously the importance of the blacksmithing is if people have horses, you can't just manufacture horseshoes. You literally have to have a blacksmith to properly fit the horseshoe to the horse. So we need blacksmithing for certain kind of doors, for making certain kind of mechanical apparatus in our houses and our yards. So it is an art that is relevant.
Yeah, hinges and latches and all that good stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you have not figured out your volunteer hours yet and you don't know who to volunteer for, I want to make a recommendation to the Boys and Girls Club, because you could be an assistant coach. You could also be an assistant coach for the AYSO, the Soccer Association. So whatever your favorite sport is, consider getting your volunteer hours in as being an assistant coach. And then I also have an encouragement. If your family has a particular community church, synagogue, or beautiful spiritual community, reinforce for your family community of getting together at different times and sharing that communal space, and volunteer for those organizations. So if you have a neighborhood church that your family is a part of, consider volunteering there. So there are so many things that we can do where we're not just sitting at home twiddling our thumbs and being on social media. We can actually get involved and do these things that make us feel good inside and share that love with other people.
I think those all beautiful things. I think the most important thing for a young teen today is just to remove themselves from the technology as much as you can, because your whole life moving forward is going to be surrounded by it. It was pretty funny until Richard came by with that meter and then scanned all the devices in the house, the EMF reader. So we just got all of our delivery of shungite. And I kid you not, it's in here. This is supposed to be one of those protective phones, which it went woo, woo, woo. I mean, it didn't. It's not protecting anything. I put the piece of shungite in here, nothing. Zippo. So that stuff works. It just doesn't make any sense to put a lot of this EMF around you if you, at all costs, if you could avoid it. Maybe the DNA with this new generation has it protected. I don't know. Adjusting or whatever. But I just think it's really kind of cool.
Adaptation.
Of course, he has to go through my whole room. And it's like might as well live in a microwave. You know what I'm saying? So now it's all fixed and I'm all happy. So thank you again, Richard Ellsworth. But nice. Does anybody else have any other ideas for our kids? They're going back in a couple of weeks. But I think this can spray over to families, to grandkids, parents, the whole thing. Dr. Amy.
Well, I was going to say, if someone likes to read, they could read my mindfulness workbook for teens, and it will give you good coping skills for school, for relationships, for sports, for performing arts. And if you're an athlete, then you could read Still Quiet Place for Athletes, because it's sports specific, but the tools are applicable again to finding flow in sports and in life.
Nice. Beautiful. Yay. We need to post Dr. Amy's books on Teen Sports Radio so they can find an easy link.
We need to reach out to all the coaches.
Yes.
And offer them, the knowledge, because it's just all about sharing, the information.
It's nice to learn these tools before you're in crisis mode. That way you keep yourself in thriving rather than surviving.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, so let's do this. Ed, sorry.
So, I just wanted to mention, you talked a little bit about the old school talents and knowledge. And our new devices like cell phones and the internet are amazing, the things that you can learn from them, where we used to have to get out an encyclopedia and look things up. So I just want to mention that electromagnetic pulses can come from a sun flare. They can come from an atomic explosion over your area. And if they wipe out all the computer connections, some younger people will be in deep trouble if they don't know how to do some of the things, like math is a good example. If they don't know how to do math and they don't know how to add things up and make change, and cars will be shut down. So there's so much that is there that's of value in the older knowledges and the old school techniques of doing things that we ever have an EMP, there's going to be a lot of havoc. So learn what you can about the old school techniques.
Well, it's building a solid foundation, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So that's really what it is. You're carrying it over. It's just a base, like you say. If everything's going to rest on that base. So that's definitely, the basics is the base, right?
Yep.
So awesome. Well said, Ed. All right, Ed, we're going to get with you, Ed Langlow, right after these messages.
Well, now together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Together we'll stand, divided we'll fall. Come on now, people, let's get on the ball and work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, because together we will stand, every boy, every girl, and a man.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m.
Well, good morning. We're back with Teen Sports Radio. I'm Ed Langlow with another segment of If Only I'd Known. If Only I'd Known is a mentor's moment with the teens with us remotely, as well as those listening in on the radio. Today's history segment is titled Be the Best You Can Be. Last month, I did a segment on Santa Barbara High School based on information gleaned from a 1924 yearbook that my friend Joe Moreno gave me. Now, Joe gave me 3 other books from 1952, 53, and 54, but there was so much historic information in that 24 book that I just set the other 3 aside. But last week, I pulled them back out and found more great history. So here's what I found in an olive and gold from 1954. The 1953 Santa Barbara Dons went undefeated for the season under coach Louis Gustavus and line coach Albert Revis. And I hope I pronounced those names correctly. Then went on to CIF playoff for the 17th time in their 45th year history playing football. Now, here's something that I thought was interesting. Some people believe the 1938 team was the best in the history of the school, and they probably were. But let me read you a quote from a 1958 homecoming program. Probably the greatest team ever to come from Santa Barbara High School, the mighty Golden Tornado of 1938, swept to 11 victories without a defeat. So great was the olive and gold machine that Clarence Schute's boys yielded only 25 points in 11 games, while rolling up a total of 238 tallies themselves, end quote. Now, that was written in 1958, so the accomplishments of the 53 team had only been 5 years before, but they were not even mentioned. They also won 11 straight games with 5 shutouts. They beat Mount Carmel 45-0, Oxnard 20-0, Huntington Beach 25-0, Ventura 27-0, and Point Lomas 26-0. They won all 9 regular season games. Then as the Golden Tornadoes defeated Glendale Hoover in CIF play 19-7 and Long Beach Wilson 25-13 for a total of 309 points in 11 straight wins. Their opponents only 70 points for the season. Gary Mullins was named Lineman of the Year, and quarterback Ernie Zampese, you might recognize that name, was CIF Player of the Year, but not before losing to their old nemesis, Whittier High, 30-7 in the semifinals. So they didn't win the CIF title, but I felt they deserved some credit for being the best they could be. Zampese went on to play for USC in 1955 and 56. He then fulfilled a long career as a coach and coordinator in professional football for teams like San Diego Chargers, the Los Angeles Rams, the Dallas Cowboys, and New England Patriots. and it all started at Santa Barbara High. I'm Ed Langlow. I'll see you next time on If Only I'd Known.
Nice. Woo! I want to know who wrote that piece that didn't want to give the team in the 50s any kudos, because maybe he was on the team of the 30s. Just saying.
It's possible. I don't know if there's any credits. It's in a homecoming game, 1958. And 1958 was their 50th year. They started playing football in 1908. It was actually rugby, but it was considered football. So 1958 was their 50-year anniversary. So it was a souvenir program from that game, and I can maybe look at it. I find it here. It's sitting here somewhere, but I don't know if there's any credits in there. But yeah, I'd be curious to see who wrote that. There might have been some bias in there. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, just a little bit. All right, awesome. We've got a lot of show to go. We've got Dr. Amy Saltzman after these messages.
Brazil. Back in the USSR. Way down in LA. Every day, dancing in the street. Crossing China too. Me and you, dancing in the street.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hello, Teen Sports Radio. This is Dr. Amy Saltzman. I'm very happy to be with you. I am a holistic physician, a mindfulness coach, an athlete, and my phone is ringing and it won't stop. There we go. And opening an office in Goleta October 1st. So I have a physical home now. And I wanted to offer a counterbalance to Ed's note, which is I think we all strive to be the best that we can be. And some days we just don't quite pull it off. And on those days, it can be super important to have both a mistake ritual, which is a way of letting go of mistakes. And some common mistake rituals are making a flushing motion with your hand, or kind of imagining in your head, Control, Alt, Delete, or brushing off your shoulder for brushing it off. Or I like scissors for like cutting yourself some slack, making scissors with your fingers. And then practicing self-compassion. So everyone can do this now with me. So just putting your hand on your heart. And for the people who are on the Zoom with me, I'm going to ask you what you notice when you put your hand on your heart. So what do you feel when you put your hand on your heart?
Warmth.
Warmth. What else?
I can feel the beat.
You can feel the beat. What else?
Energy.
Energy. Yeah, so putting your hand on your heart is just a simple way when you're having a rough moment to say the same thing to yourself that you would say to a friend, to say, I'm here for you. I've got your back. We'll get through this. And it's just a helpful thing to have when you're trying to be your best, but you're not quite pulling it off. And there are 3 parts to self-compassion. So mindfulness, being aware that you're having a moment of difficulty. Common humanity, understanding that all human beings have moments of difficulty. And then kindness and compassion. So you can say to yourself, this is a moment of difficulty. All human beings, or all athletes, or all parents, or all students have moments of difficulty. And in this moment of difficulty, I'm going to offer myself kindness and compassion.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh. I so appreciate that.
Nice. I know Richard has 2 cents to add to that dollar.
Hi, Richard Ellsworth. Welcome. Dr. Amy has been balancing out. Ed talked about us being our best, and Dr. Amy balanced us out of having a ritual for when we realize we have days or moments where we weren't able to attain what we felt was our best.
I like using the scissors. That's going to be my new thing when Dominique talks and I don't like to hear it. I'm going to use this.
No. That's not the point. The point of the scissors is to cut yourself some slack, or maybe cut Dominique some slack.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Well, they said relationship isn't 50-50. Sometimes it could be 90-10, and you have to, hold space for that 90%, and somebody's just not up for the challenge. I get it. Well, I didn't want to go like that. That's rude. Okay? Fluffing off the shoulder. That would be disrespectful.
But I know that Richard Ellsworth, hi there, when he works with people at the Braille Institute and so forth, I know that he's really good about helping people rewrite their story when something hasn't gone very well.
It's very often an interesting sort of balancing act where a lot of students will come, and a lot of them have lost their vision recently, and they're feeling that feeling of loss, and it can be a bit of a stretch to just flip the story all of a sudden to, I have confidence, I'm an independent person, and I can do all these things on my own, and I have the strength and the power to ask for help when I need to, but I still know that if I really needed to, I could do it myself too, and that's the ultimate sense of independence. But to get to that point, it takes some steps. So it's all about learning to be like, okay, I'm having a tough day today, and that's perfectly okay. I'm not feeling like my vision loss is fair right now. I'm not feeling like anything that I'm dealing with in life right now is fair, and it's perfectly okay for me to feel that way. But I'm going to flip that story. I'm going to allow myself to feel those emotions, let them out, let them go, and then we're going to flip that script. Then we're going to say, okay, I understand that this is where it is, but this is not going to change. How can I turn this into something positive? Because I don't want to fall down this hole of negativity. I want to grab onto the positive thing and start climbing up the rope to higher and better thoughts. I want to find my power, whether that motivation to do that comes from setting goals, whether it comes from some inspirational thing you heard someone say or something that you do. And sometimes it's just finding those little emotions that because your emotions are constantly flipping throughout the day. And sometimes it's about finding that one that feels positive or that feels different from something negative and just following it. I know when I first just popped onto the show, I initially got hit with this wave of like positive nostalgia because all of a sudden I see faces I haven't seen in a really long time that remind me of when the pandemic first started and we were all really, really together as a family. And now that I'm seeing all these faces again, I just got hit with that, and I'm going to ride that wave all day. I think that's a lot of what being positive is all about is taking those little positive moments and just seeing where they lead.
Yeah, riding on that, Dr. Amy Angela wasn't here today. She was supposed to be here, but I wanted to introduce to you, and I don't know if you heard it, Richard could maybe add to this. We've identified over 1,000 children in our county that have children, teens, and we're a teen sports radio show that has vision issues. So I know Angela is really reaching out and trying to raise the money, the funds, and all that. So maybe this would be a great opportunity for you now that you're hanging out your shingle. COVID, hopefully, we could see the finish line, to sit down with her and put something together, for these kids, because I had a friend whose daughter, she's all grown now, but this is like 15, 20 years ago, but she was the first legally blind track star at Santa Barbara High. So they have and she just had to battle this her whole life. So yeah, I don't know, Richard, are we moving closer to that, or is this going to be something for 2022?
I have a strong sense that it will be something for 2022. I know that we're still in the interviewing process of finding a youth instructor. And once that instructor comes, it's going to take them time to set up a program. And then of course, the whole budgeting aspect of it. And then, especially with the youth, it's very important to have that kind of hands-on interaction that will be necessitated by being in person. And again, we're not expecting that probably until after January. So it will definitely be a next year goal.
Nice.
Something to look forward to.
Something to look forward to. I'm feeling it. Got a lot of love in this room, to help the kids for sure.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amy.
Thank you
so much, Richard.
Yeah. All right, let's take another tiny little break. We've got Don Sanders and Anthony Rodriguez right after these messages. Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hi, I'm Don Sanders, Don's Massage in Ojai. And there's 805-236-2684. I've been serving Santa Barbara, Ventura, and Ojai for bodywork and massage for 30 plus years. And I just wanted to share, we've been talking today about encouraging people, especially times when you think you're stuck on the road of life. And so I just had a field trip to Colorado. Two of my friends who live there in Santa Barbara, a guy I went to elementary school with, known him since the first grade. We hadn't seen each other in 35 years. And so he wanted to reconnect. His missing years, when I didn't see him, he had been in Nebraska. And so a friend of his that he hasn't seen in 40 plus years came out to meet us in Colorado. And the reason that my friend and I are that we've made friends again is not so much the elementary school years, but that we've shared our hearts and our sufferings and the things that have happened to us. And we've encouraged each other that it doesn't matter what's happened. All that matters is this moment, and that you must go on. You must go forward and you must find your way. And so it was the same with this man who came to meet us. And we just spent 11 days walking and talking, and we did our best to encourage him. He's had problems since he was born with his feet. He's had a failed marriage. He had a decent career as a geologist, but some of his work was hazardous. And so he's had a tough course. And so we really just double teamed on him for days, reading literature, playing guitar, just really trying to encourage him, just the basic things of how we've got to have good friends in life. We've got to connect with people. We've got to sleep adequately. These are the basics, so whether the teens are listening or their parents or the grandparents that have had some setbacks, friends, sleep, eating. You've got to eat good, healthy food. You've got to keep moving. The body is meant to move. You can't just sit. You must get out and at least walk. And you must find some way to serve others. Like my purpose with my body work and my whole mission now is I want to help alleviate other people's suffering, because I've had lots of setbacks and lots of trials in life. And now, I come to this place, like just here on this show, I have a circle of amazing, friends. Wherever you're at in life, you can always find your way out of a dark spot. Like even a cave that's been dark for 1,000 years can be lit up again. And so that means, serving others could be alleviating suffering, encouraging, supporting people, and so my friend's brother has this gorgeous house that's an hour from the nearest town on 35 acres up in Colorado. And we had deer browsing through our backyard. We could hear coyotes. We had eagles flying over. And we did our best to encourage this man's life. Like, don't give up. I said when we were leaving, I was saying, may we all find friends that enrich us and make us feel strong, not people who drain our batteries, and that we always have a youthful spirit. I will tell you, we are all three in our sixth decade of life, but if you have a youthful spirit, I suggest that you get to subtract 30 years. So I said, well, look, we're 35-year-old men. Let's always, reconvene and share with each other our victories over, anything that's set us back or become an obstacle. And so very, very positive. Thank you.
That's a beautiful thing, Don. Unbelievable. Really nice. And I'm sure he as much got out of just as much as you, because I find when you do the charity, when you do the work, when you serve humanity, I get back 10 times. So it just kind of shines your light brighter.
Yeah, you by alleviating other people's suffering, you are actually working on yourself at the same time. You do for others, it comes back around to you. Mm-hmm. And so on that subject, thank you so much, right. Teen Sports Radio.
Oh, we love you, Don. Thank you. We have a little bit left on the show, and I want to give it to Anthony Rodriguez. Anthony is a very, very close friend. I would consider more of a family member. I'm the godmother to his four-legged baby. Okay. And anytime he needs me, I'm always there for him. But more importantly, his job in the community, he'll share it again. We've heard from him. He's been actually on the TV. And a little bird told me a lot lately. Okay. So now he's a celebrity. But Anthony, thank you for all the work you've done with the food bank. And what's going on at the food bank?
Well, at the food bank, we are definitely still doing our Saturday food distributions. We want people to come on by if they can't go to a location during the week. And that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to be able to be there for the families that have difficult times during the week because everybody's working. So we're trying to do our Saturday distributions. So please check it out. Go on to foodbanksbc.org. You can get a list of food distribution sites that we still have open. We have a lot of them. We have a lot of partners. And actually, I wanted to say thank you to all of our partner agencies that continue to support us and help us distribute food for our county. And also everybody that's donated and continues to donate, because that's the only way that we can do this, right? Is being able to work together and get through this together. We're still in the pandemic. We're still, working around things like that. But Food Bank is doing whatever we can to make sure that we stay safe and that our clients stay safe. So we have very strong guidelines that we do take. Maybe a lot of people might think it's extreme, but we'd rather be safe than sorry, because that's what we got to do. That's my job, is to make sure that everybody's safe. So I just want to say thank you very much. We still need a lot of donations of food. You could drop it off at any of the food bank locations. And we have drop-off bins outside, so you can drop it off at any time. Thank you.
Oh, Anthony, thank you so much. Listen, we've got a couple of minutes, and we put this on the back shelf a little bit. And I know you know exactly where we're at because we kind of talked about it yesterday. So if we wanted to jump back into our safety check as far as what we should be. We did the water. We did all
the toilet seat.
The toilet seat. We've got that down. I have that in I have the toilet seat, Anthony, in my pool room. Okay.
and that's one thing that we have to remember, though, right? Is that's important. That's extremely important. But now we have to actually add a new component, which is the pandemic component, right? So we have to actually add that to our disaster supply kit, our emergency kit. But remember, you should have 3: one for your home, one for work, one for your house. And make sure that you know your plans at your kids' schools or wherever you work. Make sure you understand that and know the warning signs, know the alerts that we have at the county, and register for readysbc.org to get all those alerts. So next month is Disaster Preparedness Month, Emergency Preparedness Month. So we'll be getting ready for that. And right after that, October is a Great Shakeout. So we're actually going to be doing the Great Shakeout, which is going to be really, really fun. So we'll be practicing that as a whole organization, and we'll be inviting actually our agencies to participate through Zoom. So I really hope this works, and I really hope people participate because it's really important to know what to do just in case.
Anthony, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So I had recently gotten a box that recharges batteries through the sun. So it's a solar battery recharger.
Oh, those are great.
Are you finding those work well? Because I had gotten it one about 10 years ago, and I realized, they don't last forever. You actually have to get a new setup because those solar cells can expire. Do you know anything about the solar charging of batteries and flashlights?
Yeah, actually, they have definitely changed a lot. There's a lot of cool items that are just solar power, and they are lasting quite a bit.
Oh, okay. So you cut it in out, but I guess it's just like anything. You check it all out, educate yourself on it. The beautiful thing is we all have phones. We could look at that. If you have some kind of link or something you want to share, you can. Anthony, looking forward to seeing any of all of you next week. Let's make today a happy day. Make somebody happy today. God bless you all. See you next week.
You're the best around. You're the best around.